Welcome back to How to Family Tree, where we help you build your family tree, connect to your ancestors, and discover who you are. My name is Elder McNatt, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to search for sources. Now, why is it important to search for sources? Well, first of all, it helps validate the information that you already find on a person's profile. As well, it can provide additional information about a person. This can lead to discovering new names and new people that can help build your family tree. It also provides additional details about a person's life. And this is great because you get to see more of the story behind the person. Today we're going to look at how to find and search for records using FamilySearch's database. To get started, click on Search, and in the drop-down menu, click on Records. From there, you'll be brought to this page. Here you can add in any information that you have about your ancestor, starting with their name. Then you can add in details about any significant life event that took place, or any family relationships that they had. As well, you can search by what type of record that you'd like to look for. And FamilySearch will then do a general search for similar details to what you put in. And if you'd like to do an exact search for any of these details, click on one of these boxes. Something to remember in all of this is you should have direction in your searching. In other words, you should be looking for a specific detail. For example, when you're looking for someone and you don't have a birthday, you should be searching for when their birthday was and their birthplace. As well, if you don't have the information for someone's spouse, you should search specifically to find the spouse's name. A convenient way to search for sources is by going through the profile. Once you're on the individual's profile that you want to find a source for, on the right side of the page in Search Records, click on the FamilySearch logo. Then you'll be brought to this page. Up top, you have the basic details about the individual, and on the left column is a list of all of the search terms. And here are a list of all of the potential source matches. Now let's talk about some things to keep in mind as you're searching for these records. First, the more details that you put in, the fewer results you're going to get. This can help narrow your search down to find records that are more likely to match the individual you're looking for. Next, remember that filters are your friend. Filters help to narrow the search results even more. These filters help to separate your results into different categories based off of details such as the source type, event, dates, and places. If you click on one of these categories, you can see how many source results there are in each of these subcategories. And if you click on one of those, it can help narrow your search results even more. Next thing to remember is that names can change over time, and this can happen for several reasons. First, family name spellings can change and be altered just because of time. For example, my last name, McNatt, many generations ago used to be MacNatt, and somewhere down the line it got switched. As well, immigration can have a major impact on family names. Another example is my great-grandfather Johan. When he lived in Norway, his last name was Uneland. But when he moved to America with his family, that last name got switched to Underland to try to fit in more with the culture here. The next and probably most obvious reason is because of marriages. FamilySearch shows female profiles with their maiden name as their surname. However, many records that you'll find will have their married name instead. Lastly, there are times when names will differ between sources because of personal preference. For example, in this record, Janetta has her name listed as Janetta. However, in this record, it's recorded as Jeannie because of her personal preference for her first name. Next thing to look out for when you're searching for records is to be careful with common names. These names include things like George Smith or Mary Brown. These names show up a lot in records because they were very common. And so, when dealing with these kind of names, just be extra cautious that you make sure you've reviewed and that a source actually matches a profile before you attach it. One way to find more information about a person is to look at the original source image of the record. To do that, click on this picture icon and you can see the original source record. This can help you get all sorts of fun information, such as maybe their cause of death or what occupation they had. Next, remember there may be imperfections in some of these records because of either human error in the creation of the original record or in the human error in the index or recording of the record. Lastly, keep in mind that different types of sources will usually bring different types of information. And here's a list of what you'll generally find on these different types of sources. And we're going to post a picture of this on our Facebook page so you can use that for a reference. Once you've found these records, the next step is to review and attach those sources to the profile. We go over that whole process in detail in our last episode, so make sure to check that out. We also talk about how you can know and be confident that the source that you have found actually matches the profile. As always, if you get stuck at all, reach out to us on our Facebook page, and we'd love to help you in any step along the way. Next week, we're going to look at how you can upload your own personal records to FamilySearch. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's episode. We hope to see you next time so we can all build, connect, and discover.